And that doesn't make me perfect. That's the part I just be like, I want us to just so embrace wherever you're at. That's that lesson we can get from DMX. I truly believe that man is in the right place. You know, we don't know where people go when they die, because that's between them and God. But I really feel like he was connected to the spirit, you know, and I think if we just really can start getting more in tune there, you won't beat yourself up as much as a person. You know, we're human. We're never going to be perfect. This body is imperfect. It's going to stay imperfect. Nothing you're ever going to do. I don't care how many boxes you check off that. Yep, I went to church. Yep, I read my Bible. Yep, I was out here. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing anything. It don't matter. You still need to repent every single day for the things you did that you knew and the things you didn't even know that you did. Hello and welcome to the Bold Black Girls podcast. I'm Aries.
And I'm Kim.
And this is a very important week, you know?
Yes, it is the week of your birthday.
It is. It is. Yes. I'm excited. I feel like I'm tired right now, so I need to get it together. I'm sure I'll get all excited soon. But
have you been taking your vitamin D?
I've been taking my vitamin D, but I also been out, like hanging out. Like I went out this weekend. Great times. I was like, the world needs to get back to normal.
So, and that's probably why you're tired. Your body's not used to exerting that type of energy to like get out. Right. I told you when the world opens, it would be an adjustment.
I was like, "Ooh, I need a nap."
And that I took a 4-hour nap on Sunday.
That was funny. I was like, this girl is knocked out.
Yes. As soon as we got off the phone, I went straight to sleep. Probably woke up at Sunday evening, and then therefore I was up for the remainder of the evening, most of the evening.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens. Those long naps will come back and get you at some points.
Yes. So while you was out hanging, I was napping.
Right. I was out here in these streets. I can tell that like it's very short-lived because I'm just not, I don't have that in me like that. So I was like, it's my birthday week, you know.
Your birthday month. So
my birthday month, let me get it in while I can. And I did. It was a good time outside at the
pavilion.
Yeah, it was nice. Live music, friends, just hanging out. So that was cool.
That's good. I'm glad you got out. You know, we need that sometimes. Saturday, what they said, the new going out is running errands.
Right.
And that was me on Saturday. Like literally all day was not in the streets quite like you, but I was in the streets.
Saturday, I was in the house. I went and got my nails done. And then I had all these plans to run a bunch of errands. And I was like, that's about all I can muster up energy for. Went right back home.
That's how you know when you getting old. You like, listen, that errand can wait.
Right. I was like, I could do that later. So lots to catch up on really quickly before we get into the birthday shenanigans.
One time for the birthday chick.
I feel like when we record, so y'all, we typically record on Sundays and then we post on Wednesday. I feel like so much happens between that Sunday to Wednesday. I'll be like, by the time we post,
we can't even keep up.
So much going on. Yeah. But there's a couple things I definitely wanted to acknowledge. The passing of DMX. This is old news by the time y'all see this episode, but still, we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. This weekend while I was out, lots of DMX at the spots I was at, you know. Yeah. It felt good. It was really like, dang, you know, like
he's really gone.
And he was really crucial, like to the culture. And people probably who don't know who he is, you've heard his songs. Like you've heard his songs, especially the time frame in which he came out was very like that's when I was in college. Like it was a big part of my, coming up. So sad to his family. He went through a lot, and he was just one of those people to me that represented the dichotomy of this human life and spiritual life. Because I really feel like he knew God. I feel like he knew Jesus. Like he truly was connected spiritually. He just had some other battles going on that were, and it's a shame because apparently, he talks about how when he was 14 years old, a grown up who he looked up to laced some weed with cocaine. That's how he was first introduced to drugs, and he battled drugs addiction for his life. I remember, I know there's episodes a long time ago where we were talking about like not trying to change people. And I remember bringing up when DMX was like on this show with it was one of his kids, his oldest son, I think, who was really like not wanting to forgive him for his lifestyle, like kind of what he was doing and going through, and was really like hard on his dad. And it was kind of like, he's like, I want you to accept me like for who I am, because this is just a battle that I'm going through, and it really made me, that particular show, it really helped me, because DMX talks about how he just accepted people for who they are. So if you're a liar, you're a cheater, I accept that that's just who you are. I'm going to trust that you could be who you're going to be you know, and it frees you, it really from
does.
Expectations and like all these things. And so he lived a life that people on the outside would look at that and judge him. And I think that if you really get to know like the type of person that he was through people who really were close to him, you will have a greater appreciation of what he brought to the culture, because he was unapologetically himself. That's something that I aspire to really like fully walk in. And so very different. He was like no other rapper. That voice is distinct.
Very distinct.
When you hear DMX, oh my God, he was just sexy. I'm sorry. That when I be watching Belly, I was like, I'm looking at Belly. Him instead of and he was like the bad guy. I was like, I don't care. But yeah, so it's a loss. He was young, he was only 50 years old, and it's just sad, So I was exposing my boys to DMX. They've already heard a lot of his songs, but I was like, you need to understand, me and their dad always trying to give them some old history on some, rap or some other stuff. And I'll be like, this real stuff. Okay. Like, understand. So yeah, that was that. And it was funny because over the weekend, Kerry Washington had got blasted on Twitter. She got blasted on Twitter, had to delete her tweet because Prince Philip of Sussex, the Queen's husband of 73 years, he died. And Kerry Washington was talking about, I wonder what DMX and Prince Philip talking about. Ma'am, first of all, they're not talking, okay? And then everybody else was like, first of all, do not put DMX
in the same place.
They're not going to the same place. Prince Philip and his wife's privacy is going somewhere else. I was like, dang, they didn't put that man in hell. So it was just funny. She had to snatch that tweet up. Just be quiet. Like, just don't even. It wasn't even necessary. You trying to cover, that's when you trying to straddle the fence too hard. You trying to cover both bases.
There wasn't even anything to say about it.
Just
period.
And if you're going to say something separately. They're not even in the same category. Nowhere close. That was funny.
I don't run in the same circles or anything.
At all. Like, what? No. We've had some, we're still getting new stories of police killing Black men. We had the Army lieutenant who was basically maced in the face and just treated like crap. Video has surfaced from this incident that happened in December. And he's suing the police department. This is in Virginia. And he's suing them. It's investigation. The police officer who was Y'all can go and search all this up. We're not trying to give you the full news report, but it's being he got fired, which I think they need to go further. It needs to be some criminal charges. And this is a case of, I'm like, this man was in his army fatigue when they pulled him over. And when I tell you the most calm, the fact that he was able to stay as calm as he did throughout this incident was just, I was just like, this is sad to me. Like, it was just so sad because I'm like, he knows he has to be as calm as possible. They're giving him double commands. Put your arms out the window, unbuckle your seatbelt, get out the car. Like, you telling him 50 different things. Then it was so horrible. And I'm like, but this is America. We act like we're so patriotic. We get mad at Colin Kaepernick for kneeling to the flag because of our flag and we care. But we looking at our army, these men who are serving our country, and this is how they're treated. We got a police problem. We have a big police problem. We have a real police problem.
I don't even know if we mentioned, I think we did, that we had a person to die in police custody here close to us. And I think those 4 detention officers is what they're calling them.
Mm-hmm.
They either, I think one resigned and maybe 4 others were let go. And so then my question is, where do they go next?
Right. Somewhere else to do the same thing. Somewhere
so how are we managing, like, you manage offenders from voting. How do you manage police officers who have a record of police brutality from going to a different city as a police officer? That behavior just continues.
Exactly. And that's kind of why they're trying to get in qualified immunity to these officers who we should be able to criminally charge you when you're doing stuff that goes against policy. The shooting, just like last night or something, or not last night, probably a couple of days ago, was, she accidentally pulled her gun out instead of a taser. What?
It's not acceptable.
It's too much. And so,
because if it's not acceptable from a citizen, like, I accidentally pulled out my gun as opposed to my taser, that would not be acceptable. So we expect someone that's been trained, that the difference between the two.
Meanwhile, we're still in the Derek Chauvin trial for George Floyd's murder that everyone in the world saw, and they are literally torturing these witnesses by making them recount what happened. I can't hardly watch it because I'm like, I can't believe that we're putting these people through trauma again to go through. We literally saw this man murder this man. So why this trial is going to take this long, I still just don't get it. But hey, so here we are, and these are the things that we carry with us every single day. So when we're coming into work and we are logging on to the calls and the meetings, these are things that are mentally in our minds as we function on a daily basis. It's really sad. Like, I was watching that video with that lieutenant, and my heart was breaking. Like, I knew this man, because I'm just like, and thank God, we saw the body cam, but he also was recording himself in the car. He put his phone up and put that recorder on. And the fact that we have to see it in order for the justice to be served is just sad, And
even still, sometimes you have it on video and justice is still not served.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not watching the videos. I think I've had enough of watching videos.
Yeah, I didn't watch the full thing. I said, I can't. It's too much. And, I just wanted to make sure to highlight that, because people who listen to our podcast who are not Black, these are the type of things that we're talking about and that are coming up, in our timeline heavy. So it's like you can see the imbalance on certain things, and we bring it with us, when we go places. But today it was interesting because at my job, every 2 weeks, one of us runs the team call. Okay. And we get to kind of make it our own, or whatever. We bring in different people to come talk to us or, learn new things or whatever. So one of my teammates who was running the calls the last 2 weeks, he introduced this new little segment. It's 5 minutes at the beginning of the call to get to know, one of your coworkers, basically. And so he had somebody last week and he's like, it's a random selection, whatever. So it was me this week. So I got he created a slide, you put some pictures up there, asked you what your favorite song is and link it, play it for everybody to hear. How long you been? I used Golden by Jill Scott. I was like, I got so many songs, but I was like, she represents what I love me some Jill. And she's an Aries like me. So, that's my boo in my head. Right. So, I loved it. I told myself I really like this because it asked, he asked you some questions about like, what are your goals for this year as far as like something you want to accomplish in 2021 and something interesting about you or whatever, fun fact or whatever. So I got to talk about, I am a podcaster. I'm a voiceover artist, right, actor, whatever. And when we talked about like kind of some of the things we like about the our company, and I mentioned my coworkers, like I really like my coworkers a lot. And I also mentioned that, I kind of chose when I came into this job that I was going to bring my full authentic self to work. So what I love is that I come into work being 100% full of me. And I feel like as a Black woman, and I got to kind of use it as a platform at that moment, just being like, as a Black woman in corporate, we're used to assimilating to the culture that is there, and trying to, not be too much of ourselves. How they did, Megan talking about be 50% of you. Don't be what. And so I said, I made a personal decision to bring all of Aries with me. And I think it does your coworkers a disservice when you don't, because now they're being educated by things that they probably would not be otherwise. Without me in that room, there's something that you're missing from the Black woman experience. I don't represent all Black women, but here's an aspect of Black woman that you will be able to, you're going to hear Jill Scott today. You're going to hear, you might have never heard of Jill Scott before. Who knows? I don't know what you've been exposed to, but these are just things that I think I felt really good. I was like, you know what? See, I am a grown woman. I feel like I really am a grown woman out here. Because I chose that because I can't live that way. I can't live not being my full self. And I wouldn't work anywhere that was asking me to do that. I wouldn't. I'd just be like, oh.
Right. And, for a long time, Black people have not been able to really bring their true and full authentic selves to work.
Yeah.
Even when they say do that, you still hesitant. So I'm glad you're at a company and in a role that you can do that. And it's freeing. Like
I'm gonna do it. I mean, that's the thing. I don't. It ain't even about my company.
Right.
It's about what I made a decision that coming back into corporate after being off, for that time, I'm not going to not be
being your authentic self.
If I cannot be my authentic self, I will not be there. Either way, they're gonna be like, bye, because we don't want it. Or I'm gonna be like, bye. Like I can't. So it's kind of a choice that I'm making as a bold Black girl that I'll hustle before I work somewhere where I can't be myself. I'm sorry.
And I like that. So it probably brings us into our next topic, right? So you will be 40. Do you want to share not 40, 42?
42, honey child.
On the 14th of April.
Woo!
You're a true Aries.
I am a true Aries.
You are fire. You are fierce. Okay. And you have this magical power with your eyes.
You're silly.
So tell me, being, 40, they say it's the new 30.
No,
right?
No, it's not. It used to be 40 was the new 20. Remember that? I think that was Jay-Z or somebody.
30 is the new 20. 40 is the new 30.
Back in the day, I feel like they used to say 40 was the new 20.
Well, you're older than me, so I might have missed that day.
I'm only 2 years older than you. Or no, 3 years older than you.
3.
No, I am 40 too. And I don't know what that's supposed to feel like. I feel good. I feel like this is a great decade for me. I love the maturity level
Right.
that it comes with. I mean, as soon as you cross that 40 threshold, it's just something you be like, you know what? I ain't got time.
Which is why you probably said that if you cannot be your authentic self, and that probably, like, think back. When did you feel like, if I can't be my authentic self, then I'm just not going to be able to do it? Were you in your 40s or were you in your 30s?
I was
When you had
in
that revelation.
I was in my 40s.
Exactly.
40. I was 40. Um, and I was coming out of a very toxic work environment. When I left corporate the first time, and really felt like I feel like I was really
You had an
doing
awakening.
I was doing that. Like I was bringing my authentic self. I felt good in what I was doing. I was killing it. I was doing a good job. And like that,
It was not appreciated though.
yeah, it
That's
was
what it was.
still
It was
too
not
much.
valued.
It was too much for that culture that I was in, that work culture that I was in. It was too much for them. It was too much. Like literally, I was telling you how I would come into work dressed. I'll come dressed. My coworkers right now, they were saying like, you always are photogenic. Give us tips on like how we could look better on camera, like stuff like that.
Right.
Because I wear makeup on video calls. I'm dressed, and that's just something that I do. That's just something that I feel. It's not because
That's what
I
you want to
can't.
do. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. I think there's a level of respect comes when someone comes prepared, ready, looking professional a certain way. It's not about, oh, we've already had those talks. Yes, there's some my coworkers who are white, they'll go to the gym, they come with their hair crazy. It's still, they could do that. Me, I don't choose to walk down that path. I want to be as professional as possible at all times. So when I was walking into an office that in real, when I had to go into an office, I'm dressed, and
Dressed and ready.
my roller bag with my
Like
laptop.
a little old lady with this roller bag.
No, not no old lady. I was a professional coming up into my stuff was fly too. It wasn't even ugly. It was real cute. And I remember them being like making comments about like, oh, you look like you just came off a business trip, but trying to be,
Condescending.
it wasn't like a compliment. You're trying to like make a little snide mark. I'm like, somebody needs to look like it up in here because they looking crazy. So I'm like, y'all looking raggedy. You can look raggedy if you want to. For me, it's a mental thing too. It's like if I feel like I'm put together, it's just like when people say when you work from home, you should put clothes on.
Absolutely.
It makes you feel like you're
ready,
moving around and stuff. You're in your pajamas. You're not in work mode.
You're still in right. You're still in sleep mode. Like
right. So yeah, I might have
work in
slippers
pajamas.
on my feet under the table, but that's just how I roll. So, I've had people say, things or whatever, but at the same time, at other jobs, they was calling me boss lady. And that's what I want you to think of when you see me walking in. I'm dressing for the job that I want. And this was when I was working at a call center.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the mentality that I think that, over time, just like you read my memos.
You've always been fierce.
She read my memos from when I was 20 years old. Working.
So tell me, what can you think of? Like, I don't know if you can think back to when you were 32, right? 10 years from now, you were what? You were pregnant, or at least you had one child.
I was pregnant with Marvin when I was 32.
Wow.
And I was that was a time. Because
how has Aries evolved in the last 10 years?
I have very much so evolved. Because you got to think, I was married. I was going through a rough time in that. It was just a lot of stress going on at that time. I remember you asking me like when I was pregnant with Marvin, was I going through stress? And I really was. Because it was a lot going on. But so my mentality though back then was still very like,
it was probably more reactive there as opposed to I'm gonna step back and respond.
Yeah, and I wasn't my introspection wasn't high. Like I was always like into being self-aware and all that stuff, but I wasn't totally there yet because, and I still feel like I'm not totally there. It's a lot to work on. It's a process
Right.
when you've been living your life a certain way your whole life and then you decide to shift. I didn't realize until after I got, we had the divorce, like looking back on things and how I was responding and reacting. Everybody has their parts to it. So I don't think we still would be together, at the end of the day. But I think there was a lot of growth that needed to take place from me. I had a lot of pride, so some of my arguments would just be because I just need to make sure that I know that, and so I don't
Right.
care about that stuff no more. I'll be like, you know what? Okay.
I'm not gonna. You choose your battles, right? You're not gonna argue about everything. Everything is not up for debate either.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I went out this weekend, and this used to happen when I'll be out here all the time, but there's certain guys that really, my energy pulls something out of them that just, I could be doing nothing. I could be minding and you've seen this where I'll be out and like a guy that wants to argue with me because they see the alpha female in me and maybe it's something like they want to challenge it. They're like, I'll break her down. I'll get her. I'll be the one to, you know, soften you up or
Break
something.
her.
I'll be like, bro,
Yep.
no. Just because you think that, no. You probably could have if you came from another angle, if you was a different type of dude. But that you trying to, no. Now I just can't
Intentionally.
let you win. Even if I wanted you to, I wouldn't. So it's interesting because it happened like this weekend. And I was just like, y'all still out here?
Did you argue?
Um, just for a little bit. Because I told Angela, I said, this was like my sparring match. I just need to make sure I still have my chops. It was insignificant,
Okay.
it was an insignificant person in an insignificant, situation. But I just kind of was like, okay, y'all, okay. It's still there, but
You still have it, right?
it was a
And so
non-factor.
you talk about being 40. Now you don't look 40 at all.
I'm
Right. So
42,
you're doing
girl,
something
42.
42, 42, 42. So you're doing something right. It's like you're not aging, you're going backwards like Benjamin Button.
Somebody
And we've
said,
talked about
did you find the
what they
fountain
say.
of youth? I was like, girl, I
I'm
guess
just
so.
saying. Well, God says your later will be greater. And I feel like I'm experiencing that. Like, I'm not 40 yet, right?
Your
I'm on the tip.
ladder
I'm on the
will be greater than your past.
yeah. So I feel like I'm on the cusp, and I'm watching all my friends who are in their 40s, who have turned 40, who are thriving in their 40s. Because I really, if I think about it, I don't even know if I know anybody struggling in their 40s, and if they are, I don't know.
Mm.
So tell me, what's one piece of advice you would give me?
Ooh. Drink your water and mind your business. First and foremost. Embrace it. Like for me, the struggle that I constantly have on a daily basis and I'm working through is fully walking in who I am. Like it's like I accept myself and all that stuff, but to truly embrace who God made you to be and know that he made you, you have a unique personality. Like you draw people to you. Everybody think they're your friend. So there's things about you that just comes with who you are. And I feel like you're really good at that, but just truly walking in that to the fullest degree, in everywhere you go. Because it's necessary. There's a reason he made us the way that we are, because there's something that we bring that is something that only you could bring, right? Only I can bring what I bring. Only you can bring what you bring. And if you don't bring it, it's like I said to my coworkers, I'm doing you a disservice if you got this Black woman on your team, the only one, and I'm not exposing you to what I'm doing. Like when we talk about what did you do this weekend, and I tell y'all I was watching the Isley Brother versus battle, y'all be like, what? If I'm not at the lake house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So y'all might be at the lake house. I'm telling you what I was doing. So now y'all like, what's versus?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're learning something new. So for me, it's walking in that. It feels so good because I feel like that really is how you get to your purpose. It is by truly saying, no, this is what God gave me. It ain't about no job. It ain't about no role. It's about who I'm gonna be, regardless of where I'm at. I could be on the island. I'm gonna be
who I am.
Yep, it's
That
gonna
is
be a
who I
purpose
am.
for that.
And I think people do get caught up in like where do they work, their titles. I think once you get older, you realize like all of that can be gone within seconds. That's temporary.
And it ain't about the money.
It is not.
Because there's a lot of people with money who are not happy. And I want to be happy more than I need money.
Same.
God has been providing for me and my children. I think I made $36,000 in 2019. And I think I went on like 4 trips.
No, you did. I can confirm that for you.
I thrived. Every month he made
you
it
ate
happen.
well.
I
not just eating like good quality food.
Right. I'm like, so nobody could tell me that God is not a provider. I don't need to focus on every little penny on these jobs and stuff like that to feel like that's what's going to sustain me. I'm going to be fine, So just really trying to learn how to abide in God. That's the hardest part, knowing that he loves me regardless. So it's like, there's nothing that I can do to separate me from his love, even when I'm out here messing up or whatever. Because I am so not perfect. I think when we start really accepting and like casting out all that shame from our past or things that we did last week or last night, when you cast that out and you accept you, we're the problem. It's us because we're the humans.
We'll hold ourselves back.
Yeah. So it's like we have the hardest time accepting ourselves. And so we like, God, I'm not good enough for him. He's not going to want me. He's not going to, and it's like, no, he's like, I died all the way on the whole cross because I knew you was about to mess up.
Right.
So I'm good. You worry about yourself, and just trust that I got you. So that part is so critical to me. It's just my relationship with God is key to me being a sane person because I know without him, my mind would be gone. I would be a crazy person. Seriously. Like I would have a lot more struggles than I have.
And one thing too is I sent you a picture the other day, 7 years ago.
Girl, we've been friends for a long time.
I know. And they said 7 is a year of completion.
Right.
If you made it 7 years, it's sustainable. So ever since I've known you, one thing that I have known about you is you have been grounded in your faith in God from the moment I met you. Like I think I met you at dance, of course. But there was one time when I was coming to one because I was the unchurched for a little while, right? I was that unchurched.
Right. But we got you.
Right. And it was like everybody that I hung out with was going to one. I'm like, okay, I'm the outcast. I'm over here being the heathen.
Peer pressure, positive peer pressure.
Right. And so I think I saw you at church. You was in there just getting it. Right. So you have always been grounded in that. And I can tell, like, you've rubbed off on me. And that really has helped me in terms of my growth.
Ooh, I got one crown in my one jewel in my crown. Thank you, Jesus.
You're so silly. You're so silly.
If you got one. That's all I need. I've been a witness.
I've been a witness.
And that doesn't make me perfect. That's the part I just be like, I want us to just so embrace wherever you're at. That's that lesson we can get from DMX. I truly believe that man is in the right place. We don't know where people go when they die, because that's between them and God. But I really feel like he was connected to the spirit, and I think if we just really can start getting more in tune there, you won't beat yourself up as much as a person. We're human. We're never going to be perfect. This body is imperfect. It's going to stay imperfect. Nothing you're ever going to do. I don't care how many boxes you check off. That, yep, I went to church. Yep, I read my Bible. Yep, I was out here. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing these things. It don't matter. you still need to repent every single day for the things you did that you knew and the things you didn't
even
know that you did. And so though, but because we're gonna we're gonna mess up at some point. It doesn't even matter how perfect you think you are. And so for the ones who are not and intentionally doing stuff, but you are a believer and you have been working on trying to do your best to be as close to God as possible, I think it doesn't. He died for all of us. So for me, that's the biggest thing that helps me even to relate to people as a connector, trying to bridge, be a bridge builder, through different ways, in my life. I think that helps me to relate to people and have empathy and compassion and be like, child, well, I can't be judging you because it might be me,
Right.
I don't put nothing past me because it be days I'll be like, I will never. And then next week I'll be like, well, I just do that, So I don't know. That's just the philosophy of my.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let's kind of pivot. I was like, her birthday coming up, 42. I know Kiara has said she struggles with getting me a gift, right? Because she's like, you get yourself everything you want. I don't know what to get you. And then it made me think like, okay, well, if Aries had a wish, right? Because back in the day when you're younger, you want tangible things. I think as we evolve and we grow, those tangible things become less important.
Yeah.
Right. So I was going to say in my Ray J voice, if you had one wish, one wish, or like one of my favorite Disney movies, Aladdin. That was my movie. 3 wishes from the genie. Now you could take one of 3. You tell me what would be your 1 wish or your 3 wishes that you would want right now. The 42-year-old Aries.
Honestly, the first thing that pops in my mind is about my kids, which, I mean, everything I do is for them. As much as they get on my nerves, I'll be like, you know how much more money I would have? But I'm so concerned because they've been at home, for a year. And I literally, y'all, I'm paying out the wazoo right now. Private tutoring, like all these things to make sure they stay up to speed, and just
so that they don't fall behind.
Yeah. So for me, I really want them to go back to school this year.
1 wish. Okay.
And I'm praying that they will be ahead so that they can be where they need to be, for school to start. So I'm working really hard to like make sure they are where they're going to be when school starts back, and that we can kind of get back into some normalcy of routine, and they can get back into, being around their friends and that social stuff. So that's my one. Personally, I really want to I want to see both Black girls grow. I pray that God will bring us a producer and an editor and a social media manager or digital strategist or something that says, you know what, these girls, they're doing something good. Let me help them out, or we get on somebody's podcast network or something that like helps us because we're working women, moms, this is our hobby. This is something we're doing for us, but also our audience. But we doing all this stuff ourselves. So that would really be great, like to, grow in a way where we could have that. So I would love to see that.
Now tell me 1 wish about just directly for you. You talked about everybody else.
That's how I'm gonna be happy with that. Like I would be happy with that. Okay, what's the wish? I wish that I was gonna say something about a man just to be funny, but I was like, skip that one.
You didn't want your DMs blowing up.
My DMs are not about to blow up, child. And if they do, I really want our Black men to just step into their kingdom, like be
Kingdom men.
kings. You know, I want to see some real.
We trying
Hey,
to
if you're
know
gonna
where
blow
the
up my
disciple men reside.
right, blow up my DMs with some positive men that are serious, that are like really trying to grow, who read books, who go to therapy, who love God and got their relationship intact. You know, with that, no baby mama drama. You know, stuff like that. If you know, that ain't one of my, I don't want that to be one of my wishes though. But I'm just saying, if you happen to hop in the DMs, then
So that's like a bonus. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
just
that's
like,
just
well, really, what you're saying is you want to see society in terms of Black men to be better because it's going
I
to
do.
impact all us as a community
Women, us women who need
and children.
quality to look at, you know, and to spend time with and to build with and partner with. I mean, how are we going to do that? You know, it's like a cycle that kind of goes, oh, you're too independent, you're too this and that. Well, heck, what I'm gonna do? Wait, I'm gonna be an old hag by the time
No, you won't.
I already said, me and my friends talk about buying houses together and building, you know, because it's like otherwise. Anyway,
Yes.
that's the whole sidebar. That ain't got nothing to do with my wishes.
Okay.
Let's see. What is a personal wish? You know what? I really have plans for later this year to like refinance my house. I would like to buy some investment property.
Yes.
I want to start getting it, even if I take like a little bit of money out of this house and put towards just jumping on somebody else's project and being an investor, and then letting that, you know, start flipping some money through that way and slowly get to the point where I could start doing that. I would like to start building some other streams of income that, you know, I have the voiceover business, I have my regular job, I have some other stuff that I'm actually working on that I can't talk about yet. But so I want to have multiple streams of income. That's I'm just trying to create lanes that will actually help with this racial wealth gap that we have going on. And my kids will not have to work for anybody when they come out of school. They could just pick a business that they want to start working with and learn through entrepreneurship. That will be a goal.
Breaking generational curses, and like you said, with the whole wealth, it's just that's a whole nother podcast that we could go deep into. But
yeah, that would be, you know, some of the things that I would like to see happen this year. I mean, I feel like it's possible. I really feel like
it is
God can do a lot with a little. And you got to put it out there if you want it to manifest. So I put it out there. It's in the airwaves. I was gonna say
you put it out there. I was gonna ask you. So you don't even need the vision board. You've just put that out there into the universe. I have my completed vision board. I completed it last night.
Oh, good.
So it's so funny. I'll have to send you a picture. You're probably gonna laugh because it's probably some similar goals that you've talked about. But I am so happy. Any plans you want to share with us?
I'm going to be traveling, so get ready. Right. And the beach is getting whatever body I give it. Because right now, that's another wish. I need to lose some weight. I didn't gain way too much weight.
Well, you don't have to wish. You know you can. You know you're gonna be able.
I'm gonna definitely but it's been a struggle to a certain degree because I used to really, you know how I was. We was working out. Like working out was not an issue. That has really been a struggle for me. Even with the Peloton and all that, it's just like my energy has been. So I'm gonna be going through. I'm about to pull out Queen Afua's detox and start really just like trying to get a reset, so I can get that mindset back. And I know it probably has to do. It could have something to do with these 40s, child. I don't know. It make you tired.
I was just going to ask you that. Like, I'm not there yet, but you know, we talked about eating right. We had Alicia Woodall who shared a great resource book that we both are going to be reading, and I'm actually starting to kind of pivot in terms of my diet, just trying to clean it up. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah. So I think if we do the right combination of both, our mental health will be good. We'll physically be. I want to get into the best physical shape I could possibly get into for me, and that doesn't mean being no bodybuilder. I really just want to at a place where I feel good, I look good, and I ain't trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be no fitness person or nothing, but I really want to try to get into the best physical shape that I can and feel good about it and feel like I can sustain this. You know, this is the lifestyle that I can continue. Because it's always hard to, you'll be like, oh, I could do this. And you'll be like, but I want to still be able to do this, and that's not a part of the plan. Then you fall off and it's just like a whole cycle. So I don't want that. I want to get rid of this belly that has grown and, slim it up just a little bit. I like my curves. So don't get it twisted. I don't want to be skinny.
Yeah.
I got to keep the curves popping. So we're going to just slowly go. I don't have to rush.
Well, I can't wait to next year because I'm sure we're going to look back at this podcast in your 3 wishes. And I have no doubt about it that you will have accomplished these goals these wishes and goals that you have put out here in the universe and shared with the world.
I have faith. And I'm gonna put my faith with that. And I think if we put them together, it's gonna manifest. So yes. Thank you for highlighting me today, Kim.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
Your guest.
It's always fun being in the presence of an Aries. And I realized I was like, there is something with this Aries and Gemini because I have 2 other friends who are Aries. And I was like, I just adore the Aries.
Yeah.
There's something about y'all.
I met some Aries this weekend too. It was funny because this guy, I was flirting this weekend, y'all. Let me tell y'all.
With the eyes
is on point. Okay. If I tell y'all how I was out here like
you were testing your skills, making sure you still had it because
sure everything was still working, and it worked. When I tell you it worked,
you might have to get some tips because I don't know, like some people struggle with flirting.
Girl, it's all about that eye contact. I had a conversation without words. A whole conversation without words. And then finally, when it's time to have a conversation, I was like, well, I feel like we already been talking, so we might as well have an actual conversation now.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, I like to, make sure like I said, the chops are still there, everything is still working away. And I'm like, okay, we still good.
What's popping? Aries and her flirting.
Exactly. So yeah, no, you gotta have fun, you gotta have fun with it, be free with it, and that don't mean flirt with everybody, but you see something that look good, girl. So yeah, anyway.
I love it. Well, I'm so happy and excited to celebrate your birthday.
We might be taking a break next week.
Yeah, we might be taking a little small hiatus, but we will be back.
We need
a little refresh.
Yeah.
Right. And we need to get refueled. So we'll be back.
But hey, don't miss. We have a real love, ready to love. I say real love. I used to say it. Ready to love recap review. What do we call it? I don't know.
No cap.
Not a podcast, but we do it on YouTube. So
recap with no cap.
If you're looking at us on YouTube, you can see the videos that we already have, and we're recapping each week's episode of Ready to Love. So if you're on the podcast platform, head over to YouTube, check out our Ready to Love recap. If you're a viewer of Ready to Love. And so we'll see y'all. Hey, appreciate y'all. I love our Bold Black girls. I love our
BBG tribe
listeners, the BBG tribe. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to God doing some great things as a whole. We got y'all be buying shirts and stuff, buying merch. We have mugs. I don't have mine with me right now because me and Kim had to record on a different time than normal. I didn't have mine, but we have mugs that say Bold Black Girl on it. So go to the website, check out, see if you see anything you like for you or your daughter, because we have for youth as well. So yeah, check it out, see if you see anything you like, and go ahead and hit and get that and take a picture and tag us on Instagram. All right.
Don't forget to rate and review. Thank you all for listening.
All that, subscribe, all the good things. Have a bold week, and we will see y'all soon.
All right. Peace.